we received phone calls from over 100 people in the community, each of them telling us what happened to them. And each of them had a disturbingly similar story, where they had been targeted, they felt, because of their race. They were African American, they were Latin American, there were some Caucasians, but one of the things that struck me was most of the Caucasians that were injured were people that lived with African Americans. I'm in trial right now, actually, on a case for a 15-year-old boy by the name of William Fetters, and he was shot in the side and back area by an officer by the name of Scott Sorrow. Now, that Sorrow is the same individual that we have the $1.6 million judgment against on the Bender case. And one of the things that was stated by one of the witnesses for the Sheriff's Department is that my client's grandmother and his guardian, that her boyfriend was, quote, colored, end quote, which that's not an appropriate term, and it gives you kind of a feel for the way that people are thought of in the Antelope Valley. So that is a case that is currently under review by the Superior Court judge. We're just waiting on a result as we speak. As these cases started to come in, we started to gather evidence, and a few of them we have now filed lawsuits on. The next one that came out is of the Chiclana family, and that is the first of my clients here that I'm going to talk with you about, and then I'll go in from there. This woman, 63-year-old Maria Chiclana, needs a cane to help her to walk. Currently, we are going to trial. Her case is set for trial on April 10th. She was charged by the Sheriff's Department with felony resisting arrest, Penal Code 69. She's never been in trouble. She's been a law-abiding citizen her whole life. But what happened is her husband needed open-heart surgery. He was in the hospital. He had a lot of medication that made him confused. So he decided to leave. And the family, she, her son Marco, and her daughter-in-law Erica, tried to get the husband, father, back into the hospital, Damaso. He was confused. They couldn't do it. They called the Sheriff's Department asking for assistance. The first deputy on scene is Deputy Eswine. And Deputy Eswine, you will see in the video, after Marco introduces himself, he even shakes hands, starts hitting my client without justification. Many other deputies came and started to attack my client. It's on videotape. It's as brutal as anything that you've seen in the past on Rodney King or any other terrible video that we've seen. One of the other individuals that was part of this brutality towards Marco is Deputy Foster. Now, I mentioned those two deputies' names because we have another case. My client's not here today. She was riding a bicycle, and she claims that she also was brutalized by those same two individuals, Deputies Eswine and Foster. So, you know, I was actually bicycling this morning with members of the Sheriff's Department that are friends of mine, and, you know, I think we share the same view. You probably only have a few individuals in this department that are bad, but these bad people keep doing bad things repeatedly, and nothing's being done. That goes right to top management, and that's a real concern, and that's part of why we're here. You know, the community in the Antelope Valley is concerned that people of color are being targeted and nothing is being done to protect them. And we're hopeful that all of this coverage will help to make a change, because that's one of the big goals. Lawsuits are great. Compensation for victims of horrible injuries is useful, but it doesn't take back what happened to them. It doesn't avoid the brutality that they suffered. It doesn't bring back the two sons of the families that are here that were shot and killed, both of whom appear to have been unarmed and not resisting arrest. It doesn't bring back the life that Marco had before he was brutalized by these officers. So we're hopeful that by raising the awareness of everybody in the community, we can effect a change, and that's part of what we're here for. And think of the whole system. You have this woman, 63 years old, she sees her son being attacked by the officers. You can see the video of everything that she did. She puts her hand on an officer trying to calm him down because he's hurting her son. And as they continue to beat her son, eventually she faints, and she's charged with the felony charge of obstructing and resisting. Now that's been reduced to a misdemeanor by the court. And you know what? The district attorney says, well, you send this woman to anger management and then we'll dismiss the case. I'm saying that's outrageous. You should never have brought a lawsuit, never brought criminal charges. But they do that because it's the best way to cover up brutality. The worse that a person is damaged and injured, and you can see photos showing the injuries to Marco, multiple broken bones, horrible bruising and disfigurement on his face, they have to bring very serious charges to try to protect these officers. It's part of this whole cover-up, the code of silence. And we're hopeful that we can make a change. And that's what this is all about. And that's what this aspect of our case is.